You know the map we're all given for success, right? Go to college, get a good, stable job, and just climb the ladder. But what if that map is totally broken? That's what we're diving into today. The new ways people are actually making a high income because the economy has completely changed.
I mean, that one sentence says it all, doesn't it? Just picture this for a second. You're a student at Columbia University, you've racked up 80 grand in debt, and the Career Center gives you advice that might as well be from a dusty old textbook from the 1980s. Wow, it perfectly shows this huge gap between what schools are teaching and what's actually happening out in the real world. So yeah, it's time to just throw that old Mac in the trash. The rules for building a career, they haven't just been tweaked a little bit, they have been completely rewritten from the ground up. That whole idea of a single, straight-line career path is just a thing of the past.
Let's go back to that scenario for a sec. An Ivy League engineering grad is told to just apply to entry-level jobs and work your way up. Seriously? That's not a strategy. That's just a shot in the dark, and you've got a mountain of debt breathing down your neck. The model is broken, plain and simple, because it has zero connection to how the economy works now.
And look, this isn't just a hunch or a feeling people have. This whole shift is backed up by some really solid data. The side hustle isn't just some passing trend. It's become a core part of our economy. Let's dig into the numbers. Okay, what's truly staggering here is just how fast this has all happened. Think about it. In less than 10 years, we've gone from about a quarter of American adults having a side hustle to almost 40%. That is a huge, incredibly fast change in how people are making ends meet. So why are so many people doing this? Well, take a look at this breakdown. This is the crucial part. For a full 1/3 of them, this isn't for fun money. It's not to save up for a fancy vacation or a new gadget. It is a flat-out necessity. They need this extra cash just to pay for rent, for groceries, for the basics. The old single-income model is just not cutting it anymore.
And this number right here, wow, it just shows you the sheer scale of this whole thing. We're talking about more than 1/3 of the entire U.S. workforce. And let's be clear, this isn't just about driving for an app. We're talking freelancers, consultants, independent contractors, people who are essentially building their own small businesses. The very idea of what a job is, it's literally changing right before our eyes.
Okay, so if the old path is a dead end, where do we go? What's the new map look like? Well, let's stop talking about the problem and start looking at the solutions. Let's check out some real-world examples of people who aren't just getting by. They are absolutely thriving by creating their own paths.
First up, let's talk about Sarah Martinez. Her story is probably going to sound familiar to a lot of you. She was working as a restaurant server, you know the deal, crazy hours, zero benefits, and always that nagging fear that her job could be automated away. It was a classic dead end.
But here's the thing, Sarah didn't just go look for another restaurant gig. She made a pivot, a smart one. She noticed there was this growing demand for remote healthcare support. So she went out, got certified online, and totally reinvented her career. She went from feeling insecure and burnt out to having real flexibility and control over her work.
And here's the payoff. Over $6 grand a month. All while working a normal 40-hour week from her apartment. She gets to pick her clients, she controls her schedule, and this wasn't just some lucky break. It was a strategic move. She targeted a field that's in high demand and doesn't require a 4-year degree, exactly the kind of thing schools never seem to mention.
Now I know what you might be thinking. Okay, that's great for someone leaving a service job. But what about other fields? Well, meet Marcus Chen. He did everything by the book. He got the computer science degree, landed the cushy corporate tech job. He had that security everyone talks about. But the reality? He was miserable. His salary had a ceiling, and he was drowning in office politics.
So he took the leap. He started freelancing as a web developer, focusing on e-commerce startups. And just look at the difference. Yeah, the money was way better. But it was more than that. He got his life back. His income shot up, and suddenly he was in complete control of his time, his projects, everything. It turns out that corporate safety net wasn't safe at all. It was a cage.
A 63% pay increase. Just let that number sink in for a second. He's making that much more by working for himself than he ever could have dreamed of waiting around for some tiny 3% annual raise. That is the power you get when you stop tying your income to just one boss.
So what was the secret ingredient here? What's the missing piece of the puzzle? I mean, Marcus already knew how to code, he had the degree, so why was freelancing so much more profitable? Well, it all comes down to the huge difference between what schools teach you and what the real world is willing to pay for.
And here it is. This is the key. The skills that make you the most money aren't always the technical ones. It's learning how to find clients, how to run a business, how to explain to someone why they should hire you. Those are the skills that actually make you rich, and you'll almost never find them in a college course catalog.
So this table here is basically a cheat sheet for the new high-income playbook. And just look at the variety. You've got web development, medical coding, social media, even skilled trades and AI consulting. The thing they all have in common? It's not a fancy degree. It's a specific, in-demand skill paired with the know-how to turn that skill into a real business. Okay, let's zoom out a little. How do all these pieces fit together into a bigger strategy? Because we've moved way beyond just talking about a side hustle. We're talking about a completely new mindset, a new way of thinking about your career and your money. It's really the difference between thinking like an employee and thinking like the CEO of You, Inc.
Think about it. The old model was so fragile, right? It was this one straight line. Your entire financial life depended on one job, one company. One bad day, one layoff, and you're toast. The new model is totally different. It's parallel. It's resilient. You build multiple skills that lead to multiple streams of income. You're not just climbing someone else's ladder anymore. You're building your own portfolio of skills and value.
And the playbook for this new world is actually pretty simple when you break it down. Step 1, learn skills that people are willing to pay for today, not 10 years ago. Step 2, build some kind of online presence. It's 2024. If people can't find you on the internet, you might as well be invisible. Step 3, focus on results. Nobody cares about your degree. They care about what you can do for them. And step 4, stack those income streams. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That way, if one thing slows down, you're not in a panic. You're diversified. You're safe.
And all of this brings us to the most important part of this whole conversation. This isn't some prediction about the future. This economic shift, it's not coming. It's here. It's already happened. And that means every single one of us has a choice to make right now about how we're going to deal with it.
So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. The idea of a safe and secure job is an illusion. It's a myth. Real security today doesn't come from a company. It doesn't come from an institution. It comes from you. It's in your skills, your reputation, and your ability to generate value for people independently.
So here's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you going to keep holding on to that old torn-up map, hoping that the world of the 1990s magically comes back? Or are you going to accept the reality of today, adapt your game plan, and take control of building your own future?
Because at the end of the day, the choice you make right now is what's going to decide what your life looks like in 2026. The choice is yours.